through it. Alrighty, guys, we got absolute killer episode for you today. I've got an absolute Goliath of the fitness industry. My good friend Ceri, he runs the most incredible fitness business ever. He's going to cover a little bit of stuff around picking your niche and sticking with it. Strap yourselves in, and then guys, remember, if you want our new resource on how you can add 30 new clients to your fitness business, make sure you give me a message on Instagram, Jimmy_Pomponio. Mate, thank you so much for jumping on today. I've been like kind of biting my nails with anxiety, ready for you to pop on. Mate, give us a little rundown. Give us that little 30 to 60 seconds, who you are, what got you here today, because you have a fucking incredible story, my man.
So my name's Ceri. I am from the UK, spent 11 years in the British Army, played rugby pretty much all my life. Came to Perth for rugby, which got cut short because of an injury. And I knew that the fitness industry is where I wanted to be. I then looked at what the fitness industry has, where the gaps are in the market, picked the best of some of the current fitness trends, made my own thing, turned it into Bolt Fitness, and then just launched that. And just, over the last, it's 5 years this month, just gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, mate, and you've got like a couple of little offshoots of your business. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, about how you found pockets in the market to be so successful?
Yeah, so originally I looked at what was working in the industry. A couple that I mentioned, F45, CrossFit, that kind of stuff. Everyone was enjoying and jumping on the bandwagon, but I seen sort of gaps in the training or in the business model itself. So I sat down, broke each of those down from a business level and from a training level, created Bolt, and that's what I stuck with for a long, long time. And like that's our niche. Like we don't try and compete then with the 45s or the CrossFits. We do what we do very, very well. But I notice people are coming to me, and my street alone in the suburb where I'm at has got 7 gyms. So it's a really saturated fitness market, but there was still space for other things. So then from Bolt Fitness, I opened up a skill athletic studio. Then we were getting even more people to come to us again. So I've opened a Pilates reformer studio, a boxing studio, and then finally the last one, which I think is probably going to be the game changer here in Perth, is a females over 45 studio. The reason I've opened separate businesses, and we'll probably talk about niches anyway, is I didn't want to try and just fit a little bit of boxing or a little bit of female-only training into Bolt. Bolt is what it is. Yep. It does it very, very well. So then the next business opened, and we want to create the same thing in that, its own identity, its own purpose, its own mission, and to serve those select few people. So in the building that I'm at now, I've actually got 5 different health businesses that all work alongside each other, totally different ABNs, totally different target market, and a different customer experience.
Yeah, mate, it's absolutely incredible what you've done. I think something that I'm thinking about, how do you manage all those businesses? I know how hard you work, so I know one of the answers, but mate, you've definitely got your hands full there. It makes it easier that they're in the same building somewhat. But mate, how do you go about pulling this all together? It's absolutely incredible.
The fact that it's in the same building right now is probably the only reason that it's working for me. And that's why I've done it. Like, you know yourself, owning several gyms, people want to expand, and then you open another gym in a suburb that has the opportunity, but then you kind of move away from your first gym, and then you start putting time and effort in the second gym, and things don't always stay where you want to be. So I figured that if I am going to do it, it has to be in the same building. So that's the first reason, I think, is that they are all here, so I'm always around. Second reason is the team that I've got that work for me. I've got an incredible team that work as hard in my business for me as I do as a business owner. And I'm very, I suppose, fortunate with the people I've got around me. But I wouldn't say lucky, because I've actually chose to keep them around as well. And what I do for them, they reciprocate back. So it works really well. And it's not really like a job for anyone. They're just part of the business now.
Yeah, mate, I think it's like hats off to yourself because obviously, like, people follow leadership, right? And, one of the things I know about you is how incredibly driven and motivated and how you have such an incredible work ethic. Mate, do you think there's anything that, when you're younger, maybe with your sporting, your previous backgrounds that have helped you become such an amazing leader within these companies?
Definitely, yeah. So I left my hometown when I was 16, joined the army, spent 11 years in the army. And when you're given a job in the army, like, you have to do it, like, and you have to come up with the best plan to make it happen. And that plan doesn't always work. So you have to go to plan B or C or D. Then with my sport as well, I played top level rugby, and same as that in the army, like, you have to win. You have to do what it takes to get the job done. So I think I've always been disciplined, motivated, and driven to win, but also quite resourceful as well, and just do what it takes. Just get shit done.
Yeah, and mate, I've obviously never been in the army, but a lot of the business fundamentals of hard work, teamwork, being a great leader, being someone you want to play. I played rugby league, but being someone you want to play rugby with and rugby league with translates into business, right? You learn a lot of really good fundamentals of playing sport at a high level, and you can't fuck around, you can't let your teammates down, because it just shatters you when you're playing footy with the boys, or maybe the females playing sport with the girls. It rocks you.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like, when I was playing rugby, I was usually the goal kicker. So before training,
me too. That's so good.
After training, I would be out there, like, kicking for like 5, 10, 15, sometimes even 60 minutes before or after a game. So all that kicking practice before and after transferred then into obviously putting the kicks through the posts on the day. But I think that has then transferred into just being happy to put the extra work in when it's needed. Like early mornings, late nights, staying behind. It comes natural, I suppose. And I'm happy to do it because I know what the end goal will be, and that's to win.
Yeah, mate, I remember I used to be a goal kicker in rugby league, not as important as in rugby, because you guys can essentially win the game off your boot. But I used to get a lot of inspiration off Johnny Wilkinson. He was like around at that time, and that guy was a savage with how much he practiced. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Me being Welsh, I didn't really like Johnny Wilkinson because he beat us many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. He kind of reminds me of like right now, like Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, I'm not a soccer fan, but I look at some of the stuff that he does to keep himself in tip-top shape, and he goes the extra mile. Everything he does is just like top level.
Mate, absolutely incredible. And so with the 5 businesses that you have, so you had Bolt and then you kept opening the others. Was there like because a lot of people like listening to the podcast will think about opening a second business and it's a dream. And my advice to you guys is Ceri did it better than me. I'd prefer to have what you have, my friend, than 3 different locations, and we can do a different episode on that together. But when did you know the time was right to open the second arm of the empire you have right now?
When was the time right?
Or did you just jump in and just get it done?
The first probably time when I thought the time was right was when the first gym was full, and I was like, I've got to do something. And then I started looking at other facilities, other locations, buying out other gyms, finding new spaces, and then doing a bit of a risk analysis. I realized that to go to another place wasn't right, so I had to then stay close. And then I spoke to the building owner and said, look, as soon as something becomes available in the building, I want it. And then I just gradually took over another lease, until we've now got the whole downstairs. So I created it by realizing I didn't want to go elsewhere and I had to stay here. So I just kept asking, when can I have more space? And when a lease became available, what I'd created in the gym, the owner of the building wants to keep us around because of all of the value it brings, and then offered the additional spaces.
Yeah. Now, mate, I've been really impressed with how growth minded you are. So with when I talked to Co about all the training you guys do internally, I know the other month you're at Kim Barrett's mastermind. Kim's an absolute amazing business owner with a special fundamentals in ads, and I know you do some work with the guys from Sales Sniper. Has like mentors helped you in this journey? Has there been a couple that have like really like helped you get where you are today?
Yeah, there's been a few. My business partner is he's a silent partner, but I regularly just have random conversation and just pick his brains on some things. And he's in lots of different industries. He's not active in any of them, but he's got amazing business partners, kind of like me, that does everything well, and he's just there as a bit of a mentor. So
Yep.
I would say Mark, Barrett as well. I lean on him a lot for pretty much everything. He's probably the one that I speak to the most with my small problems or my big problems. And he's the one that actually brings me back down to earth. And he said, Ceri, why are you looking for another location? Why do you want to double the risk, double the outgoings when you can just make more money in the same place?
Yeah.
So he usually puts the reins on me. But also yourself as well, bro. And the other business owners in the inner circle. And there's some in there that kind of the same level as me, just let's say they're a bit more successful or progressed in their business ownership, or they're a little bit kind of behind where I am. I look at some of those and some of the questions and things that they're learning from each other. And that's, to me, sometimes as valuable as a mentor that's done it all, because the guys in the circle right now are doing it day to day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little community. And I think Kim's been such a big mentor in my life as well. He taught me how to run Facebook ads. So I initially learned off Travis Jones. And then Kim taught me like the real advanced stuff, and really took me under his wing. I think he helped us add like 300 members to our business. I just did private coaching with him for like 6 months. He's such a kind, caring guy. Nothing but love for Kim. So we'll have to get him on the show one day. And mate, I really like the FOF model, the over 45s. When we're chatting on the phone, I was like, that would be, if I got into a gym again, that would be pretty much the exact model. What kind of brought that on? Because the business is going quite nicely and has such incredible potential.
What was the question? Sorry, what brought it on?
Yeah, what brought you to want to go into that niche?
So 12 months ago, Kelly, the lady that I've got into it with, she joined my gym as a member. So in Perth, we've got a pretty good reputation for what we do at Bolt Fitness. So sometimes when people complete a personal training course, they actually come to us as a member and say, hey, I want to be part of your gym. I want to continue learning and training and being in a good environment. And then when I met Kelly, that's a 53 or 52-year-old PT at the time, just fresh out of sort of qualifying, realized that her goal was to work with kind of older ladies. And I said, look, if you want to do it, I will use my network, my experience, probably my failures as well, to help guide you to where you need to be. And after a very quick chat, we said, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a no risk trial of the business. All we done was we just run some ads, converted those, got them in, tested the model, and we were literally at the time writing sessions the night before the session was due. The next one, we'd write another session was due, write another session, and then it quickly grew, and we realized that it's going to be big. So we put it on
It's going to be
as
massive.
a low risk model, and then just smashed out the park and realized that it can be very, very, very big and very quick as well.
Yeah, it can be absolutely massive. And My friend, so most people like listening to the podcast would have just one singular location, like you back in the day. And mate, I guess if you were having a chat to them and they wanted just to get to one full location so they have all the amazing opportunities that you have now, is there any like core pieces of advice you would give them to fill their first location?
Run paid ads to tell everyone what you do.
Yep.
And the first thing is just make sure you keep telling people what you do, but do that one or two things very, very, very well. Because if you're the best at what you do, like nothing else matters. And all the gyms we've got around us now, they're not competition because people come to us for what we do. Customer service is next level. The member experience is fantastic. The trainings, the service, and the package that we give them is brilliant. And we're not competing with the others. Like what we do is what we do.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's really common, and you would have seen it with experience, especially with F45. They see something and people just copy it nowadays, and they don't actually stand for anything different. And if you're competing against F45, they're going to absolutely dominate you because they are single-minded and they're very good at what they do. So there's no point competing with those Goliaths. You want to get like that little bit of targeting where you're different and you're better in your own ways, which really makes you stand out in a crowded marketplace. Especially, you got 7 gyms in the local area, like just in one street. There's probably more in the entire suburb. Would be pretty crazy. There's more popping up every day.
It's crazy, yeah.
And mate, just the last one. So you mentioned paid ads. So paid ads, like they get like a lot of people either love them or they either hate them. Some people say they work, some they don't. The simple fact is they do work because all those most successful gyms run them. But mate, what kind of like success have you had within paid ads to help you grow to this absolute empire you have right now?
So at the start, when we first opened, I didn't do any paid ads because I didn't understand it. Then I paid someone to do it that also didn't understand it. And I'm actually on Albany Highway in Perth, right? But the location they set was Albany, which is 400 kilometers away. So I quickly stopped working with them. And then I got a friend to start doing some stuff for me. And really quickly, I'd seen that what I was doing in the gym, because I was super passionate about training people, what I was doing in the gym was then getting more exposure. Started getting more people through the door. So then I just started increasing the ad budget. And then we were full. I backed off a little bit and then just started working with Kim. And like what I do now is we just turn the ads up and down, on and off as and when we need to. Like it's, man, it's having that ability to just like a tap, switch it on, turn it up even faster, or just let it trickle through. It's super important. And once it's dialed in, you can do that like instantly then as well.
Oh, mate, and it takes like the majority of the lead generation stresses that fitness business owners have out of the equation because, you might spend $100 one week. You could literally spend 2,000 one week if you really needed to. And it's absolutely incredible once you have it dialed in. I know the guys at Your Social Voice are absolutely incredible at running ads. I've worked with them personally in the past as well. They're absolutely world class.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever run my own ads. Like, I'm not saying I won't ever run my own ads, but for the money that I pay them and the stress and the time that it saves me, that's worth it for me.
Mate, that's all you want to hear. And mate, thank you so much, and so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate how hard you work as well. You're so incredible to work with. Such a straight up, passionate dude. So, mate, thank you so much. We'll definitely have to get you on for another episode because I have a couple of things that I want to ask you next time. So, thank you so much.
Cheers, brother. And I look forward to working with you closer in the future, man, and building this thing with yourself and Kelly. And the females over 45. It's going to be huge. Like, I know it is going to be
Mate,
epic.
100%. It's going to be fucking massive. Yeah, especially with Kim's help as well. It's going to be real big.